But also, I definitely see the secretive part of Libra. I mean, more on Scorpio.
What?
The lighting is immaculate today. I don't know what else to say. Hey guys, it's Aries Specula and welcome back to my channel. You can call me Aries Specula or Jacoby Sable or Jake. I don't really care what you call me. If you're new, welcome, and if you're not new, welcome back. There we go. I actually kind of low-key like it better with the blinds closed. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the 12 zodiac signs and my favorite and my least favorite things about them. If you guys just want to skip straight to your zodiac sign, go down in the description because all of the timestamps are there. So if y'all just want to skip along, check that out. Also, before we start this video, if you guys haven't streamed my album Mentalia yet, I highly suggest you do give it a listen. And you guys should also check out my link tree, which will be in the description below as well. It kind of has everything that I do and that I have ever done in it. So if you want more of Aries Specula, then definitely check that out. So starting off this video, we have Aries. Aries is the first sign in the zodiac, and pretty much I'm an Aries. And this is probably the one that I know the most about because I am an Aries sun, moon, Mercury, and another placement. I think I only have 4 Aries placements, so I don't have that many. I think I actually have as many Aries placements as I do. I think it's Capricorn, so I don't know, but I just have major Aries placements in my chart. So yeah. My least favorite thing about an Aries, we'll start there, is probably that an Aries is super, super opinionated, and I feel like every Aries I've come across definitely has some sort of strong opinion, and if you don't believe in their opinion, like, you're probably not gonna end up being really friends with them. Like, to put it simply, if an Aries has a super strong opinion about something and you don't really agree with them in any sort of way, you guys are probably not gonna really get along the best. Now, of course, if they're just like an Aries sun and they have very different prominent zodiac placements, you're probably gonna be able to overlook that, especially in their moon. Unless they have like a Capricorn or Libra or Cancer moon, then you're probably still gonna have to deal with their very strong opinions. That's probably my least favorite thing about an Aries, is they're super, super opinionated, and also they get severely frustrated, which is very difficult to deal with sometimes. I think some Aries definitely, they don't necessarily get mean, but they do get like very snippy and frustrated, and you know, they kind of let it ruin their day, and it's kind of difficult to be like, hey, take a step back, breathe, you're fine. I also think a lot of people think Aries are quite childish. I actually don't think this at all. I think they're probably honestly one of the most mature zodiac signs. They just deal with their maturity in more of a playful and fun manner. And if you don't think playful and fun is like your vibe, that's just you, you know, and you're probably a Virgo or a Capricorn. But yeah, I don't know. Now, my favorite things about Aries, and I could go on for a while because I'm biased, obviously, but I really love an Aries creativity. I think Aries are actually some of the most creative people I've ever met in my life. I'm not even looking at myself for this, I'm looking at other Aries. I think they're super, super creative. They're also extremely sweet. Every Aries I first met, they're extremely sweet, they're extremely down to earth, and they kind of know what they want in life, and I think that's really fun to like play around with. I've never met an Aries who really doesn't have a plan for their life, and I think that's really, really cool to see. Mostly Aries suns, they definitely know what they want to do with their life, And I think kind of everyone somewhat knows, but if you're gonna straight up ask an Aries, like, what do you want to do with their life? 9 times out of 10, they're gonna tell you straight up what they want to do. And I really admire that. They're also extremely funny. I feel like an Aries will just like make these stupid little jokes that I obviously agree with because Aries. And yeah, I just think Aries kind of have this really fun, youthful energy. They're not really like immature. They're, like I've said, they're kind of more mature, but they're youthful. They're like a youthfully mature, fun person who can sometimes get frustrated. And if you don't love that, I frankly don't know what to tell you. I have definitely had my Aries in my life that I've not gotten along with. There's actually been quite a few, but I just love the energy of Aries, you know, like I understand why we didn't get along because, you know, Aries and Aries I feel like are kind of a difficult match. Like if there's two Aries together, they definitely bring out a ton of chaos, like silenced chaos too, which is weird because a lot of people think Aries are extremely loud and out there. I actually think quite the opposite. I think Aries come in a room and they are very presentable. However, they're not as loud and bold as you think they would be. Like a Taurus is probably way more bold and loud than an Aries. And speaking of Taurus, welcome to Taurus. I truly love Taurus. Okay, like I can't stand here and just like fake my love and be like, no, whatever. Like I truly do. I've actually made a few TikToks saying that Tauruses are one of my least favorite. Over these few months, I've grown to love Taurus so much as an energy, and now they're truly probably in my top 5 of my favorite zodiac signs. Obviously, there's only 12. However, top 5, I don't know if they're 5th. I feel like they're probably in the top 4 or top 3. They're pretty high on my list is what I'm saying. Now, starting off with my least favorite things about Taurus, I would say definitely are the anger issues. And people might come at me for that. Like, definitely, for sure. But Tauruses, low-key, have some of the worst anger management and emotionalness I think I've ever seen in my life. They definitely burst out a lot. They definitely kind of have that bull energy where, you know, they ram, like, you know, headstrong. They you know, have their horns and they're bold. They're exotic and they're wild, you know, and sometimes people can't handle that energy. Frankly, I find it really interesting that Taurus kind of has such a weird, like, a weird image and a weird reputation because I kind of think anyone could get along with the Taurus because they are just so wild and exotic, but I understand why no one would get along with a Taurus as well. I feel like it's definitely 50-50. Like, you either click with a Taurus or you kind of don't click at all. I have so many Taurus friends and family that I could just name off for hours because I know so many. Like, so many. And it's definitely high on my list of my favorite signs. My favorite thing about a Taurus is probably their hard work and their understanding and patience. I love how a Taurus can just sit there and see eye to eye level with you and understand exactly what you're going through. Not saying every Taurus is like this, obviously. Once again, I have to remind everyone there's all that chart, there's all those other energies, but specifically with a Taurus sun, they usually will see eye to eye and understand what you're going through and kind of have some sympathy. They'll feel bad for you, but I don't know if they'll necessarily, you know, try to help you all the time. I think that's something else about a Taurus that people might think of as a flaw, is the fact that they're not always going to be there to be your right-hand man. they're always gonna definitely kind of try to be like, well, can you fix this yourself? Like, I just want to kind of go out and smoke and drink. Like, I don't want to be here and like console this crying being. I kind of want to go have fun, and that's definitely, I think, Taurus energy. Welcome to Gemini. So Geminis are a little wild. I definitely love them though. I do love Geminis quite a bit. I, once again, like Taurus, know a bunch of Geminis. Family with them, friends with them, acquaintances, etc., etc. I would say they're probably my favorite air sign just because I can deal with their energy the best. My least favorite thing about a Gemini is kind of their selfishness, honestly. And that's gonna come off really harsh, but I don't mean it to be like that harsh. But maybe I do. I don't know. Geminis are pretty selfish. They're pretty full of themselves, and I think that they know it, and I think that's what kind of bugs me about it. I definitely think a lot of Geminis like to talk shit as well, and I think sometimes it can get annoying, but sometimes it can be like, yes, let's go out and be wild, let's talk shit, let's be crazy. Sometimes I definitely need that energy for sure, just to, kind of like be with someone and just be able to rant to them and be like, I don't like this person, and Gemini will be like, oh my god, they're such a bitch. It's like, like I definitely love that energy sometimes. My favorite thing about Geminis is definitely how intellectual they are. A lot of Geminis can definitely be kind of counselors, honestly. They definitely have deep intuition and understanding of the world. They're definitely a little bit, I would say, the sign to be the most effed up in the brain, but it's because they're super smart too, and they are definitely very intellectual and just, I don't know, they've always been kind of smarty pantses. But yeah, love you, Geminis. Don't let this hate get to you. I don't even know why Geminis are hated on that much. Like, they're really not that bad. Welcome to Cancer. Now, I've had my fair share of Cancers that I've loved and that I've hated. Literally hated and literally loved. They're definitely in my top 4 of my favorite signs I've ever met, just like Taurus and Aries. But I think they might be being knocked down a little bit, which is really bad to say. I don't know, I just kind of have over time gotten to know Cancers as an entity, and I think that they can be very manipulative at times, and that's definitely one of my least favorite qualities about Cancers. And I think what's funny is the fact that they know they can be manipulative, and they know that they can say things that will get people on their side. They're very powerful, and they're a cardinal sign, and I personally think that I get along with all the cardinal signs. With Libra sometimes, but I'll get into that. But yeah, Cancer is definitely, they're definitely a little bit selfish as well. I think sometimes they get overloaded with things, and then they expect everyone to be able to be fine with it. And frankly, as just a human being, I've been raised to kind of be fine with getting over things sometimes, and just kind of be able to like take a step back and understand someone's point of view. And Cancers really need that. I feel like they definitely need someone who's understanding and willing, and so that's definitely more of a person thing. I don't think that's really has anything to do with zodiac signs. I think, just like as a person, you have personality. But I think with zodiac signs, it's definitely more of a like aura energy. Auric? Is that even a word? Auric energy? Aura. I don't know. Least favorite thing about Cancers, their manipulativeness and their like need for, people just to be able to get over things. Now, my favorite thing about Cancers is definitely how much they care for you if they like you. Like, if they enjoy your presence and enjoy you as a human being. They will be some of the most fun people I think you've ever met in your life. They are super, super caring, and they really want to help and give you advice and listen, which I think is super fun. Just like a Gemini, I think that they kind of should be counselors. While Gemini is a lot more intellectual, Cancer definitely taps a lot more into your emotions and definitely wants to hear, along with Scorpio and Pisces, they're element sisters. Um, they all kind of just really like to get your full life story. They don't really like to get, like, you know, 2 facts about you, kind of like a fire sign would, just to be like, okay, cool, like, I just wanted to, like, get to know you. I want to get to know everyone here. A Cancer will really sit down and be very one-on-one with you and be like, all right, tell me everything that you've gone through. Tell me everything that you know, it's just kind of, I really like that. Welcome to Leo. Leo is also in my top 5. It's literally like in a row. Leo actually might be, Leo I know for a fact is probably in my top 2 or 3 of the zodiac signs. I just really like them. But being very brutal, as much as I love my zodiac sister Leo, as much as I love everything, I do have to, you know, get down to the bottom and say, you know, this is some things that annoy me. It's a struggle. It's a struggle because I love Leo. I would definitely say my least favorite thing about a Leo is maybe their ditziness. Leos are very ditzy. They like to kind of, they like to pretend like no one likes them, even though everyone likes them and everyone wants them. They definitely like the attention, and they're kind of a pick-me, which can be sometimes really annoying and, like, you know, and all that, but I definitely think that, you know, occasionally that can be irritating. I know a lot of Leos, actually. Like, I know a shit ton of Leos. Besides their ditzy kind of craziness, I think my favorite thing about a Leo is their comfort. And that's gonna be a very interesting one, because I love how comfortable a Leo will make me feel. It's like the minute I walk into their home, or a minute I walk into, you know, their presence at all, they're hyping me up right away. They're like, oh my god, you got this, like, I love you, you're perfect. And I'm like, literally shut up, I'm gonna cry. It's definitely my favorite thing about them. And I think another thing I really, really love about Leos is they get over shit so easily. Like, you can F up so hard and a Leo will be like, no, it's okay, like, let's move on. While I feel like some other zodiac signs definitely hold it in a little bit more. They're a little bit more on the crazy side. I think a Leo will sit there and be able to let it go and move on. And that's what I love. Welcome to Virgo. So first off, I wanted to say happy Virgo season. And also, I got my nails done for Virgo. They're dark green. I hope you guys like them, Virgos. Love you. Virgo is actually my favorite sign in Leo season, which is interesting. But yeah, they were super sweet to me in Leo season. I don't know why. Y'all were just in a really good mood. And now it's Virgo season, and they kind of dropped off my radar. I really haven't seen many Virgos recently, which is kind of interesting. I mean, I've actually seen quite a few. However, they haven't really, like, talked to me, and, like, I just feel like Virgos haven't really made an effort to, you know, like, want to be my friend and want to be there in my life. Which I can't really blame them for that, you know, they're definitely like that. So starting off with my least favorite things about Virgos is definitely their immaturity. Now, this is gonna get destroyed, but I don't care. Virgos, from what I've seen, are big fat teasers. They like to kind of be a bully, like a Taurus as well. Sometimes Taurus will definitely like to tease and bully, but I definitely see it more in Virgo. I think a lot of Virgos enjoy being mean sometimes, and it's just kind of like, what? Why? Hi, I'm editing. Also, my new nails are for Libra season. Anyway, I forgot to mention that a big reason Virgos act like this is because they have a very, very awkward nature. Naturally, they're just kind of awkward people, so It's not all Virgos though. I've definitely seen my few that have been just like the sweetest angels ever. But I've definitely met most that are teasers. They like to kind of be a teasing, I like to be right, I like the attention kind of a person. And I definitely see that leaving from Virgo. I mean, yeah, I guess going from Leo into Virgo is definitely just the fact that Virgos kind of like the attention a little bit. But they're a lot more down low about it, which I think can kind of also be annoying. It's just the fact that they like to be very down low about the fact they like attention. And so when you try to call them out on it, they're like, no, I don't. Girl, yes, you do. Don't lie. My favorite thing about Virgos, though, is low-key their judginess, their brutal honesty is very funny. I'll literally full on ask a Virgo, do I look good in this? And they'll be like, no, you look like a dead grandma. I'm like, thank you. And they're like, yeah. I think that's definitely something I love about Virgo. I also just kind of love like the fact that they love getting coffee. Like they love doing like little things like that. Like they love to go out and sit down, you know, read a book and take some pictures and look good and feel good. You know, they love to do that stuff with you. I think I definitely go out with a Virgo friend to do a pampering and just to kind of like look pretty for the day. I also wouldn't mind dating a Virgo. I've thought about that. I think out of every zodiac sign that I could date, I'd have to choose a Virgo. Like if I had to choose a zodiac sign to date, I'd choose Virgo, which a lot of people would be like, what? But I don't know, they're just really chill, and I like that. Well, unless they're not chill, and teaser, meanie head, but other than that, they're chill. Welcome to Libra. So I'm a Libra rising, and yeah. I don't typically get along with Libras very well, and I'm just putting that out there. I get along with maybe around like 10 to 15, but other than that, every other Libra I've met, I've kind of had an issue with. I mean, it's typically like straight white men, Libras, that I don't get along with, but you know, that's pretty obvious why I wouldn't get along with them. But yeah, my least favorite thing about a Libra definitely has to be I'ma cause drama, then I'ma leave. That is the most annoying shit ever. I've met countless amount of Libras who have literally caused drama and then dipped. And when I call them out and I'm like, you literally caused this, they're like, no, I didn't. You're annoying, you're victimizing yourself, you're doing all this crap. And I'm like, oh my lord. I definitely see it in ungrown Libras. I definitely believe in the fact that there is grown and ungrown zodiac signs. And ungrown Libras typically tend to be the ones who start drama and then dip. But yeah, sometimes it is grown Libras, which makes me really sad. My favorite thing about Libras is definitely their care for other people. I think a Libra, if they like you, kind of like a Cancer, they will pamper you, they will like buy everything for you, they will really, really care for you, and I think it's the sweetest thing in the world. And I think that's why Aries and Libra do get along, is the fact that Aries need the attention, and Libras are very aware of that. And Libras will fully give you that attention if they like you. And I think that's something that I really, really like about a Libra. Also, every Libra placement in their big three, like if someone has a Libra placement in their big three, they're just pretty. Like I've met so many Libra things, like anyone who has Libra in their big three chart, I swear, is just a very pretty human being, including myself. Yes, I said that. Period. Self-love. Hello, Scorpio. So, Scorpios are definitely an interesting thing for me. I have a best friend who's a Scorpio, and I love her to bits. However, there are some Scorpios that piss me off. I definitely think my least favorite thing about a Scorpio is that they think they're the shit. Like, sometimes a Scorpio will just full on be like, this is what I like. And if you don't like it, you're an awful human being. I'm like, it doesn't work like that. They're like, yes, it does. I'm like, oh, someone's got an attitude. I also definitely see the secretive side of a Scorpio. They are just kind of like weird. I don't know. I feel like you can obviously see that there's something there. You can obviously see something is wrong and there's something they're not telling you. And they just will not tell you. Like, you cannot get it out of them. Especially with Scorpio moon, I feel like you literally have to take like a mind hammer and break open the chest just for them to finally open up. So in other words, you have to like kind of yell at them and find something to make them finally break, and it's exhausting. Especially because as an Aries, like I'll just full on tell you what's up. Like I'll just full on be like, yeah, this is what happened. Like it makes me annoyed unless my Libra rising kicks in and I'm a lot more like quiet. But I also think like, especially with secretive stuff like that, it has a lot to do with like the way you were raised. But Scorpios are just naturally kind of quiet like that, and so, you know, it's definitely difficult if someone was also raised to be quiet and they're a Scorpio, because it's like there's no getting that out of them. But my favorite thing about Scorpios is definitely how wild they are, and definitely their connection. I think a Scorpio can connect with you on a very deep level sometimes and talk with you. They can't really relate and they won't really tell you what they're going through, but they'll definitely be there to help, and they'll definitely be there to give you advice and to commit arson on the person who hurt you. So that's always good. I think Scorpios are definitely really sweet as well. I think a lot of people think Scorpios are scary. In some cases they are, but oftentimes when I first meet a Scorpio, they're super sweet. And they also have really good intentions. I feel like some Scorpios obviously don't, but most Scorpios I've met have very good intentions with relationships, and kind of they just want to learn and grow. Hello, Sagittarius. So, Sagittarius is a very interesting thing for me because they're supposed to be my favorite sign. It is not my favorite sign. My least favorite things about Sagittarius is definitely the fact that they constantly think that they're right. I think that's something that pisses me off quite a bit, is just the fact that Sagittarius, if they're not right, like, they are. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, they kind of don't care about what you have to say when they're mad. They only want to get across what they think is right and what they think they believe. And I understand why people and astrologers would think Aries and Sagittarius would get along like that. However, when you really look at it in retrospect, it's like, well, two people who get mad and want to be right in an argument, no, they don't get along. Also, a little side note, I just scratched my head, so sorry if it gets red. I have really sensitive skin. Anyway, Sagittarius definitely enjoys being right, and I do love quite a few Sagittarius. I don't want people to come out here and be like annoyed with me, but I do like a lot, but I also hate a lot of Sag. Hate is a very strong word. Dislike. Unfriend. Block. Also not the type of person to like not like somebody because of their zodiac sign. Like, if someone were to come up to me and be like, I'm a Sagittarius, I'm gonna squeal and be very happy because I get along with quite a lot of them. But that's leading into my favorite things about Sag. They're so fun. You guys are the most adventurous, kind-hearted people. They are, although they can be very, very mean, they are also kind-hearted and adventurous and fun. And that's just something I've always loved about them. They definitely are the type of friends to go on a giant adventure with you. They're the type of friend to call them up and be like, along with Aries, and be like, hey, do you want to go to Washington with me for like a week? And they're gonna be like, yeah, well, let me take off work, let's go. Welcome to Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is also one of my favorite zodiac signs. Yeah, I don't know. The Capricorns are just, they vibe, they chill. They also have quite a bit of Capricorn in my chart. Here's all the placements of Capricorn I have. I don't know exactly what they are, but I know I have kind of a lot. It's the second most amount of placements I have. Now, something I do dislike about Capricorn, and bear with me because this is kind of difficult to describe, but they're very sporadic. Now, I use that word quite a bit for Capricorn. Sporadic, sporadic, sporadic. But I think it's very, very true. Like, their emotions are up and down and left and right. Like, they're kind of just all over the place. I feel like they're a cardinal sign, so they're extremely, like, bold with what they like. But they're also really, really quiet, which I find really, really interesting. A lot of Capricorns I meet are, like, extremely, extremely quiet in real life. Like, I don't think I've actually met a Capricorn once who is super out there. But yeah, I definitely think the thing I dislike most about Cap is that they have very wild, crazy emotions, and it can be a lot to handle sometimes. My favorite thing about Capricorn is definitely their compassion. I think that they show a lot of compassion and love towards the people that they do love and they do like. Like, they're definitely the type of person, and I'm not just gonna bring this up because, you know, it's stereotype of money, but it is very true. They're the type of person to, like, pay for everyone. You know, they're the type of person to stand up and be like, I'm gonna pay for this whole table. My grandpa is a Capricorn, and I love my grandpa dearly. He's like probably one of my favorite people. Genuinely, he's super understanding and sweet, and you know, he's definitely the type of person who's super caring and compassionate. They're also funny and relatable, and I don't understand why people say Aries and Capricorn don't get along, because they're so similar. Like, they really, really, really are. And I have so many best friend Capricorns. It's kind of wild, but I have a lot of Cap energy, so it makes sense why I love them so much. It just kind of makes no sense why people say Aries and Capricorn don't get along, because I feel like they're so similar that it's just kind of annoying. Because, like, I don't know, people are like, Aries and Capricorn don't get along. And I'm like, well, what are you? And they're not an Aries or a Capricorn. But every Aries and Capricorn I've met and talked to like each other. And so I'm like, all right, Google, you need to change what you say about astrology, because it's kind of wrong. Hello, Aquarius. How are you guys? I love Aquarius. Well, sometimes. I kind of don't like a lot of them, but I like a lot of them too. It's very confusing. My least favorite thing about Aquarius is definitely their lack of care over things they don't care about, and then how much they care about something they do care about. Now, I feel like, you know, it's pretty black and white for some people. They're like, well, everyone thinks that. Not until you've met an Aquarius. Not until you've met an Aquarius. I think Aquarius are really interesting because they like to, if I came up to an Aquarius who didn't like musical theater, and I started being like, oh, I love Carrie, and I love Heathers, and I love Wicked, they'd be like, okay. But if I went up to an Aquarius who liked musical theater and I was like, oh, I love Carrie's and Heathers and Wicked, they'd be like, oh my god, me too. Literally every single thing that and I'd be like, okay, yes, I get it. They show their emotion with things they like and they don't like. My favorite thing about Aquarius, though, is definitely their creative side. Aquarius are super, super smart and creative and fun, I think. Definitely a sign I think I'd like to work on a project with, besides the fact that I think that they'd get annoyed with me. I've also heard from multiple sources that Aquarius and Aries are the best match for romance, so I'm like, any Aquarius out there that want to marry me? Because I'm single. No, but I literally heard the reason why Aries and Aquarius are supposed to get along so well is because they're both the most complicated in the zodiac, and so they both are so complicated that they both just understand each other when they would both just randomly start screaming at 3 in the morning because they wanted chocolate. See, everyone else is like, what the actual? But other Aries and Aquarius are like, I agree. I agree. Hello, Pisces. I have a Pisces Venus / chart ruler, and so I definitely has some of that Pisces energy. I think Pisces are quite misunderstood. I definitely think my least favorite thing about Pisces is kind of their very strong emotions. I feel like they kind of are very scary when they're mad, like horrifying when they're mad, much more than an Aries. Because, you know, everyone thinks Aries are the most angry and whatever. And I'm like, have you never seen a Pisces angry before? But yeah, they're pretty scary. My favorite thing about Pisces, though, is definitely, this is gonna sound weird, but kind of like how they know what you're needing in the moment. I think a lot of Pisces kind of just have this weird nurturing nature, that they're very nurturing people. They kind of know what you need in the moment, and they're gonna be caring for you. Sorry, it keeps getting blurry on the side, like what? But they're gonna be there for you. They're gonna be very sweet and caring and nurturing. They're gonna try to talk to you about what's wrong, how can I help, you know, and it definitely helps a lot. Yeah, I truly do like Pisces though. I just think that they get very angry, and it kind of is a big turnoff for me for Pisces. But other than that, if they're pretty chill, I love a Pisces. Anyways, that's all the zodiac signs and what I like and what I dislike about them. This video was a lot longer than I was expecting. It literally took an hour to film. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to be checking out my link tree and to be checking out my music, and all that fun jazz, and checking out my other videos. But yeah, other than that, have a great day life. I don't know why I said day life. I meant day week life. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. Bye!